जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोदश श्री His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री His Divine Grace भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. श्री श्री महाशिवरात्रि महोत्सव की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीर्उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. I will recite The shloka is that 33rd, na? Okay. Tata asadya tarasa darunam gautami sutam babandamarshatam rakshah पशुं रषणया यथा तत आसाद्य तरसा दारुणं गौतमीसुतं बबन्धामर्षतां राक्षः पशुं रषणया यथा तत आसाद्य तरसा दारुणं गौतमीसुतं बबन्धामर्षतां राक्षः पशुं रषणया यथा तत आसाद्य तरसा दारुणं गौतमीसुतं बबन्धामर्षतां राक्ष तत आसाद्य तरसा दारुणं गौतमीसुतं माताजी तत आसाद्य तरसा दारुणं गौतमीसुतं बबन्धामर्षतां राक्षः यषणया यथा तत आसाद्य तरसा दारुणं गौतमीसुतं बबन्धामर्षतां राक्षः पशुं रषणया यथा word to word translation tatah thereupon asadya arrested tarasa dexterously darunam dangerous gautami sutam the son of gautami babandha bound up amarsha angry tamrakshah with copper red eyes pashum animal rashanaya by ropes yatha as it were. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper, dexterously arrested the son of Gautami and bound him with ropes like an animal. Purport: Ashwatthama's mother Kripi was born in the family of Gautama. The significant point in this shloka is that Ashwatthama was caught and bound up with ropes like an animal. According to Sridhar Swami, Arjuna was obliged to catch the son of a Brahmana like an animal as part of his duty. This suggestion by Sridhar Swami is also confirmed in the later statement of Sri Krishna. Ashwatthama was a bona fide son of Dronacharya and Kripi, but because he had degraded himself to a lower status of life, it was proper to treat him as an animal and not as a Brahmana. Next shloka also. Shibiraya nishantam rajva badvari pumbalat praharjunam prakupito bhagavanambujekshanah. Shall I read translation? Shibiraya, on the way to the military camp, Ninishantam, while bringing him, Rajwa by the ropes, Badwa bound up, Ripum the enemy, Balat by force, Praha said, Arjunam unto Arjuna, Prakupitaha in an angry mood, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Ambujekshanaha, who looks with his lotus eyes. After binding Ashwatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of God, Sri Krishna, looking on with his lotus eyes, spoke to angry Arjuna. Purport. Both Arjuna and Lord Krishna are described here in an angry mood. But Arjuna's eyes were like balls of red copper, whereas the eyes of the Lord were like lotuses. This means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of the Lord are not at the same level. The Lord is transcendence, and thus he is absolute in any stage. His anger is not like the anger of a conditioned living being within the modes of qualitative material nature. Because he is absolute, both his anger and pleasure are the same. His anger is not exhibited in the three modes of material nature. It is only a sign of his bent of mind towards the cause of his devotee, because that is his transcendental nature. Therefore, even if he is angry, the object of anger is blessed. He is unchanged in all circumstances. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuron Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sarvashastrabdi Piyusha Sarvavedaika Satpala Sarvasiddhanta Ratnadya Sarvalokaika Drikprada. Hare Krishna. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the temple president, temple management of the Jagannath Baldev temple, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra temple here for this, giving this opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we are discussing from the chapter, the son of Drona punished. So we are reading this section where Ashwatthama had killed the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. And Arjuna started chasing Ashwatthama. Arjuna had given a word to Draupadi that I will bring the head of the person who killed your sons. And Arjuna started chasing Ashwatthama, and Ashwatthama released even the Brahmastra uh, because Ashwatthama acted in an impulsive manner. And Arjuna at that time he didn't know what was happening, and then Arjuna asked Lord Krishna that what is this happening in all directions? There is an intense heat which is coming. It appears that it is a time of pralaya. So at that time Arjuna to Krishna told Arjuna that Ashwatthama had released the Brahmastra, but he does not know how to retract the Brahmastra. Now you release a Brahmastra to counter-attack the Ashwatthama's Brahmastra, and then you withdraw both the Brahmastras. So Arjuna acted according to Krishna's advice. And then in the today's verse we are reading that Arjuna, how he arrested Ashwatthama like an animal. Babanda amarsha tamrakshah pashum rashanaya yata. So we see here that Ashwatthama, he acted in a very instinctive manner, in a short-sighted manner. So sometimes the people, without thinking deeply about the future consequences of the action, one makes a decision based on immediate benefit, based on immediate danger. One doesn't think deeply about the future consequences. So Brahmastra should not be released at any time actually. But Brahmastra should be released only at the time of the dire need. Ashwatthama already acted in a very low manner by killing the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. And then because of great fear, he released the Brahmastra. So oftentimes people act in a short-sighted manner in various situations in their life. There is one instance which comes to my mind, the 10th canto. Krishna told Rukmini that you acted in a short-sighted manner by choosing to marry me. Because there were many other better personalities available at that time, but without considering deeply about the qualities of other personalities, in a short-sighted manner you married me. So when Rukmini heard those things, as an immediate response, she became unconscious. But later when she got up, she gave a reply for every objection raised by Krishna. Rukmini Devi told that you told me that I acted in a short-sighted manner. Rather, I actually took an exhaustive universal appraisal. I considered every personality in the entire universe, including Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and all the Devatas. And I saw that all these personalities are under the influence of your time factor. Under the influence of your time factor, every personality, they lose their position in due course of time. So after taking an exhaustive universal appraisal, I chose to marry you. So I didn't act in a short-sighted manner. Rather, I considered all the options available, not just the options available in the earthly planet. In fact, in the entire Brahmanda. In the 8th canto of the Bhagavatam, Lakshmi Devi also says, Vilokayanti Niravadyamatmanaha Padam Dhruvam Cha Vyabhichari Sadgunam Gandharva Siddha Surayaksha Charana Traipishta Peya Dishu Nanma Vindata. Lakshmi Devi, when she came from the Samudra Manthan, she was carefully examining all the personalities present at that assembly before choosing to marry Narayana. She saw the Vilokayanti Niravadya Matmana. She was examining that, she was looking for a person who is faultless and who is the abode of all auspicious qualities and who possesses all those auspicious qualities eternally. And then she saw that among the Gandharvas, Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, among Devatas, she could not see anybody as a fit candidate. Yevam Vimrushya Vyabhichari Sadgunam. After examining all the personalities, then she finally chose Lord Krishna, Lord Narayana. So therefore, we see that in contrasting with Ashwatthama, Ashwatthama acted in a very short-sighted manner. Lakshmi Devi or Rukmini Devi's example, she made a decision after considering all the personalities, after considering all the options. So generally, when a person is overwhelmed by Rajoguna, one is only thinking about the immediate necessity. One doesn't try to think about the future consequences. So Ashwatthama is acted like that. And Ashwatthama, he could release the Brahmastra, but he didn't know how to withdraw the Brahmastra. Madhvacharya in the Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, he also gives one reason regarding that. Madhvacharya says that uh, Arjuna could withdraw the Brahmastra, but Ashwatthama did not know how to withdraw the Brahmastra. So one of the reason he says is that Arjuna had greater sense of sense control compared to Ashwatthama. So therefore, he could withdraw the Brahmastra also. He gives an example that in the case of Ashwatthama, when Duryodhan was lying, when he was lying in the pool of blood, at that time, when Ashwatthama went to meet Duryodhan, Duryodhan told Ashwatthama that you can beget because all the hundreds Kauravas are dead and all their sons are dead. So Duryodhan told that you can beget a child through my wife, and then in that way you can continue the Kuru dynasty and you can continue the fight against the Pandavas. So at that time, Ashwatthama mentally he became ready for the proposal. So therefore, he lacked that sense control, like that Madhvacharya cites that incident. But on the other hand, Arjuna, when he went to heaven, he was proposed by Urvashi to have a union with her. But then Arjuna told that I consider you as my, because you are married to Pururava. Pururava is one of our forefathers in our dynasty. So I see you with great reverence. So I cannot accept your proposal. So Arjuna exhibited greater sense control. So therefore, Arjuna also had the ability to withdraw the Brahmastra. But Ashwatthama did not have the ability to withdraw the Brahmastra. This is one reason given by the Acharyas. And here it is explained that Arjuna bound Ashwatthama, who is called as Gautami Sutam. So Ashwatthama is the son of Drona and Kripi. And Kripi is the daughter of Gautama Rishi. Kripi was born in the family of Gautama. So therefore Ashwatthama is called as Gautami Sutam. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that one may wonder that Ashwatthama is born in a family of Brahmanas. Is it appropriate that Arjuna bound Ashwatthama like an animal? So therefore Srila Prabhupada quotes Sridhar Swami and says that Ashwatthama had degraded himself to a lower status of life. Therefore it was proper to treat him as an animal and not as a Brahmana. See, Brahmana will not act in an instinctive manner, but Ashwatthama degraded from the position of a Brahmana. So when we see in the Shastra about Varnashram system, Shastras mention two kinds of codes. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are determined based on guna and karma. Like that, there are quotations. And there are also quotations which emphasize the birth. Maybe just a few quotations I will mention. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvanyam Maya Srashtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Krishna emphasizes the Varnashram system is based on guna and karma. And Krishna, elsewhere in the Srila Prabhupada quotes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita purport some verses from the Mahabharata, where it's clearly mentioned that guna and karma are the main consideration. If someone born in a Shudra family possesses the characteristics of a Brahmana, and someone born a Brahmana does not possess, then the Shudra should not be known as a Shudra, and that Brahmana should not be known as a Brahmana. This is from Mahabharata Vanaparva. So this verse emphasizes the Varnashram system based on guna. Another verse Srila Prabhupada quotes again from Mahabharata, emphasizing based on karma. If one is factually situated in the occupation of a Brahmana, he must be considered a Brahmana even if born in a Kshatriya or a Vaishya family. And even if one is born a Shudra, if he is actually engaged in the occupation and pure behavior of a Brahmana, he becomes a Brahmana. So like that, there is a verse which emphasizes the karma. And Narada Muni also in the Bhagavatam, he mentions that Yasya Yal Lakshanam Proktam. So Varnas are decided especially by the Lakshana, by the qualities. So these are some of the famous verses which Prabhupada quotes often, which emphasizes the guna and karma. And also there are verses which emphasize the birth also. Sometimes they are not often quoted, but they are also there in the Gita and Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that when he talks about the divine qualities, Krishna says, Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. Abhijatasya Bharata means one is born with these divine qualities. he mentions the list of divine qualities. Abhayam sattva samshuddhir jnana yogo vyavastitihi danam damascha yajnascha swadhyaya stapa arjavam. And then the third shloka is bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. So one is born with the divine qualities. In that purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions how can a person be born with the divine qualities. In order to be born with the divine qualities, it is important to perform the samskaras beginning with the Garbhadana samskara. And Prabhupada emphasizes the importance of the samskaras. And in the Bhagavad Gita, elsewhere, Krishna mentions in the 18th chapter, Shamodamas tapashaucham kshantirarjavam evacha jnana vijnana mastikyam brahma karma swabhavajam शौर्यम तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यम युद्धे चाप्यपलायनम दानम ईश्वर भावश्च क्षात्र कर्म स्वभावजम. The next shloka also the word swabhavajam comes. When Krishna mentions the qualities of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, he uses the word swabhavajam. Swabhavajam, literally what it means is that born with the swabhava. Swabhavajam is a samasa. So Upapada Samasa, it comes from the root word Jani Pradurbhave, that is the root verb that means to take birth. So Swabhavaja means born with the Swabhava. In that verse, in the Bhagavad Gita also, there are verses which emphasize the importance of birth also. And elsewhere in the 6th chapter also, Krishna says that those who have performed spiritual life and then when they are not successful in that lifetime, in the next life, they are given opportunity to take birth in a Brahmana family or in the Vaishnava family to continue their practice of yoga. So that means there also the birth is emphasized. And there are elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that, for example, in the 10th canto, 8th chapter, there is a shloka, Janmana Brahmano Guruhu. This is spoken by Nanda Maharaj to Gargacharya, where he says that a Brahmana is Guru by birth. And there are other verses in 10th canto, in Akrura story and then 84th, 85th chapter. But why I am mentioning the shlokas is that in the Shastra, there is pramana for both kind of varnashram system, varnashram based on guna karma and varnashram based on janma. For both the system, there is a pramana in the Shastra. So therefore, we need not criticize either of the system. Both have the pramana from the Shastra. But the Acharyas, say, in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, particularly Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, so they saw that with the passage of time, in the Kali Yuga, people stopped performing the samskaras. So therefore, the Varnashram system was collapsing. People taking birth in the Brahmana family, they were not pursuing the Brahminical duties. So therefore, they chose to take advantage of the facility given in the Shastra. They did not invent a new system. They chose to take advantage of the facility given in the Shastra, and where they gave even the Brahman Diksha to the people who are not born in a Brahman family. So it is perfect, it is according to the Shastra. But previously, there was no need to utilize that facility because previously the samskaras were getting performed. So therefore, the Varnashram system was relatively intact. So therefore, the Acharyas took advantage of that facility because in Kali Yuga, the people born in a Brahmana families, when they were no longer pursuing their Brahminical occupation properly, so therefore there was a need to create the Brahmanas. Therefore, the Acharyas adopted the Pancharatrika system. At the same time, those who are following even in the current system, if somebody is following the system of Varnashram based on birth, we need not have to be too much critical because it is also based on the Shastra. If somebody is following that system, then we can show respect to them. We should show respect to them. So here, Ashwatthama had degraded himself from the position of a Brahmana, so therefore it was appropriate that Arjuna bound him like an animal. That is the point which Prabhupada is, Srila Prabhupada is justifying the action of Arjuna. And then in the next sloka, Arjuna wanted to take Ashwatthama to the military camp. So at that time, Krishna spoke to Arjuna with his lotus eyes. So in the previous shloka, Arjuna's eyes were described as tamrakshaha, coppery eyes. But here Krishna's eyes are described as ambujekshanaha, as a lotus eyes. So this shows that Krishna is situated in the platform of transcendence. Ambujekshanaha, Krishna's eyes were beautiful like a lotus. Although Krishna is angry, but Krishna's anger is situated on the transcendental platform. When Krishna becomes angry towards anybody, that object of anger becomes blessed by Krishna. One of the qualities of Krishna is Hatari Gati Dayaka. Whomever Krishna kills, so that person achieves liberation. Krishna showed anger towards Putana. But Putana became purified by Krishna's anger, and Putana was elevated to the position of a mother. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam shayapa yedapyasadvi lebe gatim dat uchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam vrajema. Uddhava says that who can be a more merciful master than Lord Sri Krishna? Putana was envious towards Krishna. Putana was asadvi. She was faithless and she wanted to kill Krishna. But still, when Krishna killed Putana, Krishna purified Putana of all her sins, and Krishna elevated Putana to the position of a nurse in the spiritual world. So whoever becomes the object of anger of Krishna, that person becomes elevated. And here, Prabhupada says the angry mood of Arjuna and that of Lord are not at the same level. So Arjuna's anger, so can we think that Arjuna's anger is on a material platform? Do we think like that? So Arjuna's eyes were described as tamraksha. Srila Prabhupada says that both their angers are not the same platform. But at the same time, Arjuna is a pure devotee of Krishna. Even when Arjuna became angry in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all the people who became the object of anger of Arjuna, even they also became purified. Tathaiva chanye naraloka veera ya ahave Krishna mukaravindam netrai pibanto nayanabhiramam parthastra puta padamapurasya. It is described that those people who were shot by the arrows released by Arjuna, Parthastra Puta Padamapurasya, they became purified by the arrows released by Arjuna. They became purified by the arrows released by Arjuna. And then when they saw the Netrai Pibanto Nayanabhiramam, when they saw with their eyes, when they saw the beautiful form of Krishna, When they drank the beauty of Krishna, they padam apurasya, they attained Vaikunta or they attained Sayuja Mukti, depending on their mood. So even Arjuna's anger, because Arjuna employed his anger in the service of Krishna. So uh, his so Arjuna's anger, we may not say that it is in the mode of passion. Generally, anger arises in the mode of passion. But sometimes the Shastra implies what is called as Nahininda Nyaya. Nahininda Nyaya means sometimes apparently one personality is glorified as superior to the another personality. But although both the personalities are on the same exalted platform, apparently one person is glorified as superior to the another situation or another person, but actually both are on the same platform. For example, suppose suppose a sannyasi is addressing a group of brahmacharis, and they are trying to inspire the brahmacharis to continue in the path of renunciation. So the sannyasi may speak about certain difficulties in the grahastha ashram. He may apparently speak certain situations in the grahastha ashram. So, in order to encourage those people in the brahmacharya ashram to continue in the path of renunciation, it is not that grahastha ashram is something lower or inferior, because all the ashrams have the equal opportunity to attain Krishna. But it is a nahininda nyaya. Sometimes apparently a particular ashram is spoken as something lower, which not that that ashram is lower, but for the purpose of encouraging other people uh, to pursue the path of renunciation. So in that way, uh, Arjuna's anger, we may not say Arjuna's anger is in the mode of passion arising out of selfishness, uh, because elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, when Arjuna exhibited his anger in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all the people got purified by the arrows of Arjuna. But sometimes to clearly show the transcendental position of Lord Krishna, uh, so the distinction is pointed out by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. So therefore, when Krishna is angry, the object of anger is always blessed. He is unchanged in all circumstances. That's what Srila Prabhupada highlights here. So I'll also discuss something relation to today being Mahashivaratri. I'll discuss something about Lord Shiva. So regarding Lord Shiva, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find so many episodes in relation to Lord Shiva. For example, Kapila Dev, when he describes meditation on the different limbs of the Supreme Lord, Kapila Dev says how one should meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna. Yat Shraucha Nisrita Sarit Pravarodakena तीर्थेन मूर्त्यधिकृतेन शिव शिवो भूत ध्यातुर्मन शमल शैल निसृष्ट मक्ष्णो ध्याये चिरम भगवत चरणारविंदम. Kapila Dev says that one must meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna, and that lotus feet of Krishna, the water which had washed the lotus feet of Krishna, the Charanamrita of Krishna, by accepting that water on his head, Lord Shiva became even more blessed. Shiva means auspicious. But Lord Shiva considered himself that I have become auspicious, I have become even more blessed by accepting the Charanamrita of Lord Krishna. So, one must meditate on that lotus feet of Krishna, whose Charanamrita, by accepting that, Lord Shiva considered himself very fortunate. Lord Shiva considered himself to be very blessed. One must meditate on that lotus feet. Dhyatur mana shamala shaila nisrishta makshnu. Dhyaye chiram bhagavata charanar vindam. One must meditate on the lotus feet for a long time. That lotus feet acts like a thunderbolt. And in our mountain, in our heart, there is a mountain of dust. There is a mountain of dirt, anarthas accumulated in our mind. But what is the way to destroy the mountain? In this world, suppose if you want to destroy a building, they come up with some explosives, etc. Or terrorists, they blow up certain building. But then we have never heard of destroying a mountain. So here Kapiladev says that Lord Krishna's lotus feet acts like a thunderbolt, because with the thunderbolt weapon one can destroy the mountain. So Krishna's lotus feet like a thunderbolt. By meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, the mountain of dirt in the heart that gets destroyed. Dhyatur manashamala shaila nisrishta makshno dhyaye chiram bhagavata charanaravindam. So in this shloka, we can see that Lord Shiva considers himself to be even more blessed by accepting the Charanamrita of Lord Krishna. And Lord Shiva is telling to the Prachetas. Lord Shiva, the Prachetas were ordered by their father to go to Narayana Sarasa to perform austerities before begetting children, before accepting the responsibility of being a king. So at that time, Lord Shiva comes on his own to meet the Prachetas. When Lord Shiva came to know that these people are going to worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva came there on his own. They have not even begun the process of worshipping Vishnu. But simply by the fact that they have made a sankalpa to go and worship Vishnu, Lord Shiva came on his own to come and give his association. Then we can imagine how much more when a person is actually engaged in the worship of Vishnu, Lord Shiva, how much more Lord Shiva would become pleased with such a person. So Lord Shiva tells the Prachetas, Yuyam Vedishada Putra Viditam vas Chikirshvitam Anugrahaya Badrambha Yevam me Darshanam Kritam. He says that you are all sons of King Prachini Barishi. I wish all good fortune to you. I also know that I also know what you are going to do. Therefore, I am visible to you just to show my mercy upon you. And then he says, Yahaparam Ramhasa Sakshad Triguna Jiva Samyitat Bhagavantam Vasudevam Prapannasa Priyohime. One who worships Lord Krishna directly. The word Sakshat is very important. That means one who worships Lord Vishnu directly without any mixture of karma or jnana. One who worships Lord Krishna directly, who is superior to Brahman. In this shloka, the word Ramhasa refers to the Brahman, because elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 16th chapter, 15th chapter, same word Ramhasa comes, and there the word Ramhasa refers to Brahman. The four Kumaras were situated in Brahman realization. There the word Ramhasa was used to refer to Brahman. So one who worships Lord Vasudeva directly, who is superior to Brahman, who is superior to the living entities, and who is superior to Prakriti, is very dear to me. Prapannasa priyohi me. Is actually very dear to me. Huh. So Lord Shiva is revealing his heart's feelings towards the Prachetas. And then he says, Swadharma Nishta Shatajanma Bippuman. A person who is completely situated in his Swadharma for 100 lifetimes, such a person attains the position of Lord Brahma. And Virinchatam Yeti, he attains the position of Lord Brahma. Virinchatam. Virinchatam Yeti Tata Param Hima. And somebody who is even more qualified, he occupies the position, he can approach Lord Shiva, or he gets the post of Lord Shiva. So one place it is explained that somebody who has become Brahma for 100 lifetimes, he occupies the post of Lord Shiva. And Avyakritam Bhagavatota Vaishnavam Padam Yataham Vibhuda Kalatyaye. But a person who is directly surrendered to Lord Krishna in unallied devotional service is immediately promoted to the spiritual planets. But Lord Shiva and Brahma and other devatas attain the Vaikuntha Loka after the destruction of this material world. Brahma has to wait for his entire life to get over. Shiva also has to wait. But a person who is directly surrendered to Lord Krishna is immediately promoted to the spiritual planets. Ata Bhagavata Yuyam Priyasta Bhagavan Yata Namad Bhagavatanam Cha Preyan Anyosti Karihichit. So you are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of God. And I know that in this way the devotees also respect me and that I am dear to them. So thus no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. So in this way, Lord Shiva comes to Prachetas on his own, and then he appreciates the Prachetas. One place in the first canto 15th chapter, after the disappearance of Krishna, Arjuna is expressing his feelings of separation from Krishna. So at that time, Arjuna says that by the mercy of Krishna, I could astonish even Lord Shiva when I was fighting with Lord Shiva. During the Vanavas, and Arjuna Lord Shiva came in the disguise of a hunter. So at that time there was a fight between Arjuna and Lord Shiva. And Arjuna, by his Kshatriya heroic skills, he astonished Lord Shiva in fighting with Lord Shiva. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that Ravana was a devotee of Lord Shiva, but Ravana could not be saved by Lord Shiva when he was fighting against Lord Ram. But on the other hand, Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna, but even when fighting against Lord Shiva, he actually pleased Lord Shiva. He pleased Lord Shiva. So in this way, he is contrasting the devotee of Krishna versus a devotee of Shiva who worships Shiva, considering Shiva as an independent devata. So in the just now back in the I was quoting one shloka from the with this shloka will end. In the Bhartrihari's Niti Shataka, so Bhartrihari, there's one of the Paddhati in Niti Shataka called as Paropakara Paddhati, uh, doing welfare to the others. So in that he says that Manasi Vachasi Kaye, Punya Piyusha Purna, Stribhuvanam Upakara Shrenibi Prinayantaha, Paraguna Paramanun Parvati Kritya Nityam, Nija Hridi Vikasanta Santi Santa Kiyantaha. Manasi Vachasi Kaye, with body, mind, and words. Punya Piyusha Purna. Those who perform Punya Piyusha Purna. मन वचन और शरीर में सत्कर्म रूपी अमृत से भरे हुए तीनों लोगों को अनेक उपकारों से संतुष्ट करने वाले. So those people who are filled with the nectar of pious activities, nectar of selfless activities with their mind, body and words, and then who perform welfare activities for all the three worlds and please the three worlds, and those people who magnify even the smallest good quality of the size of an atom to the size of a mountain. Such people are so rare to find in this world. Those who magnify the smallest good quality to the size of a mountain, and those who perform welfare activities to others with their body, mind, and words, such kind of selfless, great souls are very rare to find. And such a great soul, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, is Lord Shiva. Tapyante lokatapena sadavo prayasho janaha paramaradhanam taddi purushasya kilatmanaha. So those people who voluntarily take up austerities, voluntarily take up suffering for doing welfare to the other living entities. Such people are performing the highest worship of Lord Vishnu, who is situated as the super soul in everyone's heart. Purushasya akilatmanaha. So this verse is spoken in relation to the fact that how Lord Shiva, when the Kalakuta poison came, in order to do welfare to the entire world, Lord Shiva, he consumed that poison. Because the Devatas are all devotees of Vishnu. The Devatas approached Lord Shiva, please accept this poison. So, in order to serve the Devatas, the devotees of Vishnu, in order to protect the entire world, Lord Shiva consumed that poison. So, Rahu consumed nectar for a selfish reason. So, although he consumed nectar because for a selfish reason, Rahu is considered an inauspicious planet. But Lord Shiva consumed poison for a selfless reason. So, therefore, the mark of consuming poison, his blue throat, is considered to be an ornament of Lord Shiva because he consumed poison as a selfless devotion to Krishna and his devotees. And the other quality that Lord Shiva, other quality mentioned by Bhartrihari, that magnifying the smallest good quality to the size of a mountain. This is also the same quality of Lord Shiva when Sati came to the sacrificial arena of Daksha. When Sati saw that all the devatas were offered oblations, but Lord Shiva was neglected. At that time, Sati, she could not tolerate the insult offense committed to Lord Shiva. Therefore, Sati, in the open assembly, she explains the position of Lord Shiva and then finally she ends her life. So, there Sati says that Doshan Paresham hi Guneshu Sadavo. Huh? So Sati says that Doshan Paresham hi Guneshu Sadavo Gunam cha Falgun Bahuli Karishnavo. Gunam cha Falgun Bahuli Karishnavo. That means she says that Lord Shiva, in the, there are saintly persons, even when they see certain faults, they think that, oh, this fault will eventually will get transformed into good quality. And the best of the saintly persons, when they see the smallest good quality, Gunamcha Falgun, Falgun means smallest good quality, Bahuli Karishnavo, they magnify the smallest good quality like a mountain. And such a kind of person is the greatest of the great soul. Such a that person is Lord Shiva. And on that personality, Lord Shiva, you found only the faults. So therefore, you are the lowest of everyone. So we see that Lord Shiva in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Shiva's position is explained in other scriptures also, but Srimad Bhagavatam focuses on the Vaishnava aspect of Lord Shiva. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhuhu. In this way, in various episodes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva's qualities are described, his instructions to the Prachetas, etc. So I'll end here. Hare Krishna. Anybody has? Hare.
Hare Krishna. Improve ourselves so that we can gradually go like if my level is like I see fault as mountain, matlab, small fault also is a big mountain in a person. So how to come out of that zone and come to that good level where I can see good qualities in person more than faults and that.
So some of these questions, how to become determined, how to tolerate, how to develop these qualities. For this type of question, the answer is that we have to become like. There is there's no switch that if you press on the switch, then the qualities will come automatically. We have to put a conscious endeavor to develop those qualities. So, and we have been given the ability to be determined. So therefore, to focus on the good qualities, at least by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, we become conscious of this. Uh, and then we have to put that endeavor to focus on the positivity. There may be critical thinking may be required, but criticism should be avoided. Uh, sometimes critical thinking, uh, Vishaya Ninda may be required sometimes for a person in the uh, position of an authority, but Vyakti Ninda should be avoided. Uh, and so we have to, especially in the Sangha of devotees, we have to focus on the positivity, the primary quality of taking shelter of Krishna. And even among the outsiders, uh, what is the reason that Srila Prabhupada was successful in his preaching? The reason why Srila Prabhupada was successful is that Srila Prabhupada saw the spark of sincerity. The same quality, Gunamcha Falgun Bahuli Karishnavu. Uh, Prabhupada saw the spark of sincerity among the people, the 22nd Avenue in the New York. And he fanned that spark. And that spark of sincerity was surrounded by mountain of ashes. And in the midst of the mountain of ashes, he saw the spark of sincerity and he fanned that spark to make it into a blazing fire. So, this quality of seeing the focusing on the essence, focusing on the spark of sincerity, focusing on the essence, that is the very personality of Srimati Radharani. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarvalakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Samohini Para. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta, that means Srimati Radharani is filled with the thoughts of Krishna, that when a new devotee comes and offers something, Srimati Radharani says that, oh, this devotee is better than me. So apparently, Srimati Radharani's name does not come in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But actually, Srimati Radharani's quality comes in almost in every personality of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This quality of Lord Shiva, Gunamcha Falgun Bahuli Karishnavo, it is nothing but the quality of Srimati Radharani. That's the personality of Srimati Radharani. And Srila Prabhupada was successful in his preaching because of this quality. So therefore, if we have to please our Guru Varga, please Srila Prabhupada, that means bring more people to Krishna Bhakti, then there is no choice that we have to develop this quality. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much to His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu. That was such a wonderful class. Very profound topics, very simply put. It looks Krishna consciousness is so easy to follow. So let's thank him once by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna. Like all of us know, we have started this Vaishnava etiquette program this year. So we are going to discuss a few topics. It is said etiquettes are the ornaments for the Vaishnavas. So let's hear one more. So anyone remembers what we discussed last week? Last week, what was the etiquette that we discussed? Okay, let's go to the next slide, Prabhu. So we discussed on paying obeisances. When you enter, when we do Vaishnav Pranam, how do we do Pranam to Srila Prabhupada, and how we should do Pranam to the deities there? What is the sequence, and what are the mantras to say? So considering that most of us don't remember what we did last week, let's actually do the most fundamental. Let's all recite Srila Prabhupada's Pranam mantra and try to understand the meaning, because that's very important. So please repeat after me. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Okay, the meaning is on the screen, but basically we are paying our respectful obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, who is very dear to Krishna because he's taken shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. We'll continue the second part of the prayer. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine So our respectful obeisances should be, O spiritual master, servant of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, you are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Paschatya Desha, the Western world, which is filled with impersonalism and voidism. That's something that Srila Prabhupada actually did. He ensured that this Nirvesesha and Shunyavad were removed, and it's our responsibility that we actually spread that message. So now, considering that when we enter, we actually pray that to Srila Prabhupada, how do we offer our obeisances? Today we'll learn these two things very quickly. Prabhu, you can move to the next slide. Okay. Many times devotees lift the phone and say Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So what does it mean by Dandavat Pranam? What is this Ashtanga Pranam? This is mostly for the Prabhujis, or actually for the Prabhujis. So there, Hari Bhakti Vilasa actually talks about this Dandavat or the Ashtanga Pranama, and it says there are 8 angas of your body that actually touch your feet, your knees, your chest, hands, head, sight, mind, and words. Remember, it's not only the body, sight, mind, and words are also focused, and the rest of the body is on the ground like a rod. Dandavat is like a rod. Okay, so your eyes are half open and focused downwards. I think the photo is on the screen. You spread your hands, it's not tucked under your head or under your chest. You actually spread your hand, focus down, not looking sideways. Don't carry anything in your hand, your mobile phones, your bead bags. We'll talk about the don'ts in a bit. And how about Mataji's? Go to the next slide, Prabhu. We usually talk about Pancha Anga Pranam, Panchanga. So, what are the 5 Angas? The knees, arms, head, intellect, and words. Very similar to the previous one. When Prabhujis are paying obeisances to Mataji's, all Tulsi Maharani, Prabhujis also do Panchanga Pranam. Mataji's always do this Panchanga Pranam. This is the photo here. The hands are spread outside. Don't hide them. The chest does not touch the ground. Lastly, what are the things that we should not do while praying obeisances? Okay, so it says it's basically an offense to pay obeisances with one hand. You're holding a bead bag, you're carrying something, one hand spread out. That's not right to do it. In fact, you should either place them aside or bead bag. Sometimes devotees put it on the back, but spread. We saw the photos. So the pranam should be complete and focused. It's not just a, you know, a religious activity that I pay obeisances here, there, here, there. We actually focus on the activity that we are doing. Okay, Srila Prabhupada sometimes carried the bead bags and he would cup it in his hand. He would keep it in front, but in his hand, but his hands are fully spread. We can also do that. There are other etiquettes. What happens when we come early in the morning, when we enter, especially the pujaris, when they enter the deity altar, how they do it. So that part is written. We will actually be sharing this in the WhatsApp groups. If you are not there, we will request you to please join the temple WhatsApp group so that you can see these details. Okay, thank you for attentively listening. Yes, Kripa Mein Prabhu. Yes, last week we covered that for initiated devotees, always the pranam mantra should be their Guru Maharaj first and then Srila Prabhupada. We did it in last week's etiquette, Prabhu. We will share that also. Devotees are requested to remember because these are something that we are supposed to follow every time. Okay, so very wonderful class, Prabhuji. Also covered on Shivratri. So today night, devotees follow Shivratri. We can always listen to the glories, do Harikatha, and of course we have work tomorrow. You can plan your day. Tomorrow also devotees sometimes follow the Shivratri. But this week is got a lot of nice occasions. So 18th, that's Wednesday, is Srila Jagannath Das Babaji's disappearance day. It's also the disappearance day of Srila Rasikanand Prabhu. Wonderful book. Many of you have heard the katha. If not, visit our ISKCON Sheshadripuram website. You have the katha of both these personalities very nicely there. On the 21st, that's the coming Saturday, is the appearance day of Srila Purushottam Das Thakur. Purushottam Das Thakura. So another wonderful day for us to chant more, read more, and hear more. Okay, so coming back to our devotees, we have an urgent kidney transplant that's happening to His Grace Vijay Vasudev Prabhu. He's been serving our temple for a long, long time. When we were kids also, we have seen him here, and he's a wonderful devotee. So he's going through a kidney transplant. Any devotee wants to contribute or pray for them, please do it. And we should be able to reach out to the devotee care team. You can reach out to the counter or look at our WhatsApp group. You will have the number and the website there in case you want to contribute. There is also a medical camp that's happening right now in the second floor. Today, it's a free medical camp that we have kept it for the devotees. Any devotee has any issues, this is that they have got consultation for dermatology. Sorry, I'm not a medical person. So gynecology is the dental treatment. There's something on the obesity, I'm guessing. So anyone wants, please go ahead. It's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's available on top, both allopathy and Ayurvedic. So it's an opportunity. Please go ahead. If anyone devotee wants to take this, please go to the second floor. Okay, so wonderful Vaishnava association that's continuing. We had His Holiness Indradumna Swami Maharaj. Last week we had His Grace Vishal Gaurang Prabhu. Today we have His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu. Today evening we have His Grace Sachit Ananda Prabhuji. He is the temple president of ISKCON Nagpur. He was earlier the temple president of ISKCON Vallabh Vidyanagar. Wonderful devotee. It's a Hindi class on Bhagavad Gita. So devotees who are around definitely should be here, and devotees who can make it to the class, please do be here as well. So lastly, there are some devotees who are celebrating their multiple events in their lives. So we'll pray for all of them together. So we have Nakul Rajpurohit Prabhu celebrating birthday on the 15th, that's today. We have Girish Kumar Prabhu and Meenakshi Mataji, their wedding anniversary on the 17th. Vijay Prabhu celebrating birthday on the 18th. Yogesh and Shamala Mataji's wedding anniversary on the 19th. And Ranchor Govind Prabhu, who's celebrating his birthday on the 22nd of Feb. So all these devotees are celebrating. We should pray for them so that they can spiritually progress. One Hare Krishna will help. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Okay, and we have a Sunday feast donor today. Chaitanya Prakash Prabhu is donating for the Sunday feast program on as part of his son's marriage. Shailesh and Ishwari Mataji, they are getting married or they are already married, I'm guessing. So the Sunday feast program is sponsored by them. One prayers to the newlywed couple, An Prabhuji, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Any newcomers today? Anyone who's come for the Sunday feast program for the first time? Prabhuji, can you please stand? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಭಕ್ತರು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ? ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು? मूर्ति प्रभु, धन्यवाद. एनीवन एल्स? कोई और भक्त है जो पहली बार आ रहा है आज क्लास के लिए? माता जी, आप लोग पहली बार आ रहे हैं? धन्यवाद. प्लीज, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग. You are our guest. You are the guest of Baldev ji and Srimati Radharani. So thank you for coming here. We have a QR code there, Prabhu. You can go ahead and scan so that you get connected to the temple programs. And Matajis, you can also do that. Let's welcome them by once chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare. After this, we will continue our program. We will go for the Nagar Kirtan. We'll do a short Nagar Kirtan. We'll invite devotees for the upcoming Gaur Purnima festival in March. So please come along with us. And after that, we can have Prashadam. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.